I'm Pete Hines from Bethesda Softworks, and we're here at Gamescom to talk about Dishonored 2.
Let's start by talking about the goals heading into this sequel.
Well, I mean, obviously we're very pleased with Dishonored and being able to kind of establish this unique franchise with the guys at Arkane, and the goal of Dishonored 2 is, what parts of Dishonored do we want to do more of? What do we want to do differently? What do we want to do better? So that's the big picture. We want to do sort of more of what made Dishonored fun, but bring a lot of new stuff to it, both for players who played it as well as folks who haven't tried Dishonored before.
Let's talk about some of that new stuff.
One of the biggest changes that we've unveiled is that you can play as either a male or a female. So Corvo Attano is back. He's the assassin that you play in the original Dishonored. This game takes place 15 years after Dishonored, and Emily Caldwin, who was the daughter of the Empress who was assassinated in the original game, and Corvo is her protector. She is now also a playable character as well. She's kind of grown up and sort of learned a lot from Corvo, and so now when you play the game, you have this choice about 30 minutes in whether you want to play the game as Emily or Corvo, and they both have a very completely unique set of skills and abilities to play through the game. So you can play through the game as Emily and then replay it as Corvo, and he has a completely different set of powers and abilities. And again, it's a game about choice. So you can play you can finish the game without killing anybody, or you can go through and wreak havoc and stab everybody, or anywhere in between.
What are some of the abilities Emily brings to the table?
One of the ones that we talked about, so Corvo has this blink ability where he can sort of teleport short distances. Emily has this reach ability, which allows her to kind of grapple if she wants to jump from one building to the other. She can sort of grab onto the other roof and pull herself, but it also allows her to pull enemies towards her. So not only can she pull herself to a location, but she can also grab an enemy and bring it to her. So again, the idea is making each of them a unique experience. The story is the same story that you're playing through, but how you play through that story, how you play through each mission can feel pretty different depending on which character you play and which play style you're using.
Dishonored introduced a very unique world. Can you talk about the new places people will be exploring within that world?
Dishonored 2 starts in Dunwall, where the first game took place, but then after that, you go to the southernmost part of this world called Karnaca, and it's a very different kind of location. It's got a very different feel to it. It doesn't have the same rat plague that you dealt with in Dunwall. That's all kind of been dealt with, but Karnaca offers a variety of different types of enemies and creatures, like the blood flies, different types of locations, and even some themed levels that we'll be talking about.
What do you feel differentiates this Dishonored franchise from anything else Bethesda or other studios have done?
Well, I think one of the things that makes Dishonored a good fit as a franchise for Bethesda is it is unique. It is a game that focuses more on systems as opposed to scripts. So the guys at Arkane are much more focused on putting together systems that react to what the player does, as opposed to here's a level and here's how you're supposed to go through it. So again, it's this idea of allowing the player to be creative, deciding whether they want to assassinate the guards on the way through, or they just want to knock them out, or they want to ghost the entire level so that nobody ever knows that they were there. Allowing that player choice to come through in a way that feels very natural, where you can decide how you want to move through it, the kinds of things that you want to do, I think fits us pretty well. And it is this sort of grounded, immersive first person, which obviously we feel pretty strongly about, and is a big part of Arkane's legacy. It's why we wanted to work with those guys originally, and why we're very pleased that they're part of Bethesda, is that they have these same design ideas about allowing player choice, unscripted moments, and systems that allow you to kind of push the boundaries of what might be possible.
How do you feel new generation technology has opened up more creativity for Arkane?
Well, certainly from a visual standpoint, they're pushing even more on what the game looks like, and visuals are nice. Like, everybody likes looking at pretty pictures, but I think for a game like Dishonored, it helps with immersion, that it makes the world feel much more realistic, that you feel much more a part of it. And so being able to do a lot more things with visual effects and just the overall fidelity, I think makes the world feel a lot richer and more immersive than was possible in the last gen.